talent mean more than one thing? Talents do have more than one meaning in the Bible?
Okay, you're on.
Okay, Shalom Israel.
Shalom.
Welcome to class again with the Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge. We're going to go ahead and get out our little announcement while everybody is coming in, and then we'll go ahead and get class started. So for brothers and sisters that are new to the channel, we ask that y'all like, share, subscribe, and check out our class times and our class areas up there. Is that the updated version that y'all got up there?
We haven't updated the layers yet. But this is
The location.
for the addresses?
Yes.
No.
Not yet?
Not yet.
So, we do have class in Houston, Virginia. We have class in Rochester, San Antonio, and Albuquerque. If y'all want to get a hold of us, you can always call us, text us. If you're in those areas where we got a few other brothers that have scattered throughout Asia Minor. So if you want to link up with brothers, hit us up, and we probably can link y'all up with brothers and sisters. All right. Check out Mashaba's Blog Talk Radio. It's a good one. Support that. blogtalkradio.com/Mashaba. Also, if y'all want to get your fringes done, you can go ahead and check out our web page at isbhpk.com, where y'all can go ahead and get your garments up. We know a lot of brothers and sisters are in need, and these sisters are doing a fabulous job getting that stuff out. Quality work, all right? And if you do /fringed up on there, then you can subscribe to a subscription of fringes, t-shirts. I mean, really, the subscription is t-shirt, headband, but if you want other things too outside of that, they do it. They do it all right? Hebrew Academy, for brothers that already know about it, we have a special elite Hebrew Academy for brothers that want to dedicate themselves a little bit more than just showing up 1 or 2 times a week. So if you want to join Hebrew Academy, ask about it, all right? And then we'll give you all the information for that. If you want to go ahead and contact me or Priest Quatzazat, that number is going to be right there on the screen. All right. If you want to support, you can support. You can support the business. SweetAmbiance.com. You can support that way, or as always, alms, offerings, or whatever you want to give. We want to thank the sister. What's it? The sister. Gotta get her name right. I don't know why. The sister Dorothy. The sister Dorothy, she gave us some Bibles. We appreciate that. Then she sent some apocryphers to San Antonio. So those things too help out. We appreciate it. And everybody that supports, we always appreciate y'all. All right?
We got some donations to the website from 2 people as well.
Okay. From what?
Sharing and their donations.
Okay. All right. So yeah, we appreciate y'all. Whatever y'all do, we appreciate the love. All right. Let's open it up for questions, and then we'll go ahead and go into tonight's class. All right. You were saying, LaShawn, about talents.
Yes.
LaShawn.
Yes.
LaShawn.
I was just
Talents.
wondering if they have more than one meaning.
Now, you're talking about when Christ said he gave them different talents?
In Matthew, I think, when someone hit one of their talents.
Yeah. Well, a talent in its pure context can be money. right? I'm gonna give you this money and then you flip it. But we know a talent also nowadays can be something you're good at. So yeah, it has different meanings. The way Christ was speaking about it was in parable form, was in that context. I'm giving you something, right? And you're supposed to produce with that, right? It could be your talent. It could be something that is valued at something, but I want to see you produce with that, right? So it could be a physical talent, spiritual talent, right? It could be physical, spiritual talent, you know, something you're good at, right? The Most High wants production from it. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, we haven't been over that in a while too. We can definitely go back over that because we haven't been over that. I'm gonna say in a good minute about the talents. I'll double check with Houston to see if they've been over that recently. If they did, then we don't have to repeat. But was that it?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions?
There's questions in the chat.
Okay, what do we got?
The first one says, how do we celebrate the new moon?
The new moon. I gotta still do more research on the new moon, because the misconception is that the new moon was a Sabbath. When you read in the Bible, it tells you new moon, then it says and Sabbaths. So, man, it be so much. This is one that really has slipped my radar. So I want to say forgive me for that, because you're not the only one that asked for that. But give me a second, and then we'll put together something on that. All right. So be patient with me on that. I will get with y'all in a class on the new moons. I'm gonna say it again though, just from me going into it a little bit. That there's a misconception that new moons are Sabbaths, but when you read in the Bible, the English, it says new moon and Sabbaths. So I think brothers integrate it, and but let us come with the information. Remember, the scriptures say prove all things, so we stand on it. We want to get it out to y'all. All right. So be patient with me on that. Like I always say, if we forget this one I'm going to keep on my radar. I'm not going to let this one go. I'm going to go ahead and get this one done next week. All right, because this is not the only time this has been asked, and I don't want to put it off anymore. So next week I'll go ahead and make sure I get that out to y'all. All right. So what other questions we got?
That was the only one in the chat.
Oh, that was it?
Yeah.
All right. Yes, sir.
John 3:16. How would I break that down, showing that it's not the whole world?
Well, I'm going to let Ariad go over that one with y'all in Hebrew Academy. You come to Hebrew Academy, right? Okay, so that's going to be a perfect one for Hebrew Academy. So give him the chance. I'm sure he's ready, willing. He's going to get excited. So the John 3:16 breakdown, he's going to go over that with you in Hebrew Academy. All right. Now, if you want to go on the channel and once again look at it online, because we've done it online, you can do that also. Yeah. Yes.
I was just gonna say there's a part 1 and part 2.
Yeah, it's on there, but those are one of the. You're not gonna go there, what's the name? How do I?
That's 8:45, 8:50.
Tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, I got you. We thought it was 8 o'clock. All right. So he's gonna have to fit in here.
He can call me. What's it called?
Right. Okay. All right. Well,
Nah, shit, the wisdom said John 3:16, butter to the grits, right? Start with Hebrews 1 and 2.
Yeah, so yeah, we've been over that a few. I mean, basic class, but you know, you're a new brother. You need that ammo. He's gonna definitely go into it for y'all. All right. All right. Any other questions? Anything else online? I'm gonna give y'all a few seconds. If not, we're gonna dig into this topic. Anything? Any teen? Nothing on there? Alright, so we wanted to switch it up a little bit, man. We've been going to a lot of spiritual classes. So we're gonna go into this subject, what's going on over there in Israel. And I don't know if y'all pay attention to news. I kind of really be on the news. But y'all should be paying attention to the news. The scriptures say, walk as wise, knowing the times. Right? So y'all should, instead of scrolling and talking about things that is pointless, y'all should be knowing what is going on and what prophecies are coming to pass. And this is one I wanted to hit because you got a lot of people don't understand. We talk to a lot of Israelis because we're in the mall, and a lot of them a lot of people think that the chosen has already been in Israel, and that the nations are already coming to Israel. You know, they've already came to Israel. The prophecies are already has been fulfilled. So, just want to touch on these scriptures, man, to show that, first of all, the Holy Land is never going to be at peace. It's never going to be at peace till the Most High comes and destroys those people out of the land. It's never going to be at peace. There's never going to be joy over there. You know, because these nations are in our land. So the Most High, through the prophecy, keeps showing us that this is what it is. So if people weren't sure why it's happening, and man, they killing, bruh, the Israel government, man, is killing a lot of people. A lot of people over there. They ain't doing no hurt. From Gaza, they're not doing nothing compared to what the Israelis are doing over there. Now, when you look at what's going on over there, you see that, first of all, man, I like the news because it shows you all the pictures of the people. Those are all Edomites, man. Those are all white people over there that grew up in these different lands and adopted the language, grew up with the different ideologies, and they think they're of those nationalities. Just like we grew up over here. And what do you think? You think you're American, right? You think you're American, you speak American, you talk American, you dress American. It's the same thing with these nations over there in our land. A lot of them think they're from that land. But I want to start out with 2 Kings, the 17th chapter. The reason I want to start here because this is when it started. These nations being in our land, it started way back. Way back. Go to 2 Kings, the 17th chapter. 2 Kings 17, and you're going to start at verse 6.
2 Kings 17, we said verse 6.
Right, 2 Kings 17 and 6. And let's go through the scriptures, man, and show when this started, when these nations started to actually adopt our belief. They started to start to trying to be like us, walk like us, talk like us, right? Now, I'm not gonna go over color. All right, we've been over color a lot. So if you need that, if you're totally new to knowing you're a Hebrew Israelite, you got to start from the basics. All right, but I'm not going to touch over color because we know the people in the land are not the people. Right? So this is when it started. All right, read that. At 2 Kings 17 and verse 6.
2 Kings 17 and verse 6.
Uh-huh.
In the 9th year of Hosea, the king of Assyria
Right.
took Samaria.
Right. So we went into captivity under the Assyrians. Okay? And in this captivity, just like as you go through the Bible, majority of the captivities, the nations come in and they conquer your land, they take it over, right? And a lot of time they ship you out to go to slavery. They destroy a lot of your land, right? So we always talk about 70 AD, right, when Titus and Vespasian came in. But remember this, it's happened since the beginning. And when you go back to the Assyrian Empire, which was around, what date you got for the Assyrian Empire? That's, he did all that. Yeah.
6 BC.
No. 586 BC was the Babylonian Empire.
Oh, okay, I got that. No,
What you got on there?
586.
For what, in your Bible?
Yeah, I know.
586 is the Babylonian Empire.
It is,
Yeah, that's the Babylonian. So, when did Israel? When was the? When did the 9.5 come over to America?
That was.
When did the 9.5 come over to America?
That was 721.
So you got 722 BC around this time. You got the split around this time. So you got 721, 722 BC. This is when we went it around that time. And we can double check that. If you go to 2 Kings, you find 2 Kings. You see that? It's going to tell you the date. It's a chronological Bible. Right. So, and somebody can Google it too to double check. You know, remember, the white man changes everything, and sometimes your dates are going to, a few years going to be off here and there. So you can Google it also, but around 721, 722, the Assyrian Empire, somebody Google that. Go there real quick. You know what I mean? You can't Google it. Let him Google it. Right? You got Bible in one hand, phone in the other.
So 722, they said in the chat.
Yeah, it's about 722 BC. So you see that? So the Assyrian Empire started this. Right? So that's where we at in 2 Kings 7. 2 Kings, the 17th chapter and the 6th verse. Go ahead.
The king of Assyria took Samaria and carried Israel away into Assyria and placed them in Halah and in Habar by the river of Gozan and in the cities of the Medes.
Right. So us going into captivity on them. Remember, a lot of times we're going to go and be taken out and be brought into these different lands, right? And then you're going to serve as slaves. You're going to serve as captives. You're going to be taken and misplaced. And that's what you got, what's going on with what they're arguing, right? Because the so-called Jews are taking the Gazans' land. That's what they think, right? But this has happened to us. It's happened to us so much that we were scattered through the four corners of the earth. So how many captivities have we been in to where we were misplaced so many times to where you ended up in America and you're calling yourself what? African American. Now, before you got to America, right, where did the white man get you from? Well, some of us from. Yeah.
The Ivory Coast.
Right, where?
In Africa.
Right, so you got the Ivory Coast of Africa you were taken from. So how the hell you end up in Africa and you're not African? You see that? Captivities, running from the so-called white man, right? Running from the other nations, right? So hold that and go to, where's that Babylon, the Timbuktu? Go to your Babylon, the Timbuktu. It should be up here. I'm afraid to keep mine here.
It might be right there.
These books start disappearing when they up here.
There should be one right there.
You got one? Where you at?
This is Babylon the Timbuktu, page 84.
Right. Go ahead. You know what? Just hold that, because I wanna let me stick here and then we'll jump to there. We'll bring out that information because what I'm trying to show y'all is that how many times Israelites were scattered through the four corners of the earth, were taken out of their land and misplaced in these other lands. And then when that happened, what happened to our land? They took it, but nations start dwelling in our land.
Right.
So this is what we're reading here in 2 Kings 17 and 6. Read it from the top.
In the 9th year of Hosea, the king of Assyria, took Samaria,
right,
and carried Israel away into Assyria.
Right, so we were carried away into Assyria. We were carried away captive to Assyria. Now you got children in Assyria. So I'm doing some things here. I'm showing y'all this. Now when Isaiah came back in Isaiah 11:11 said that the Most High was going to gather us from Assyria, Pathros, Cush. Now you see why there's still a lot of real Israelites in these lands. Y'all see that? So a lot of people ain't gonna look like you. They ain't gonna talk like you. They're gonna speak a different language. You see that? So this is one thing we're seeing. Go ahead.
Into Assyria.
Right.
And placed them in Halah.
Right.
And in Habar.
Right. So Halah and Habar. Did you have your hand raised, sis? No. Okay. Go ahead.
By the river of Gozan. And in the cities of the Medes.
Right. And in the cities of the Medes. So now, who were the Medes? Who were the Medes? The Persian and the Medes. Because we went into captivity under them also. Who were the Medes, Ariad?
That was in 538. So it was Darius, King Darius.
Right. So who were the Persians? Who the Persians and who the Medes? Anybody know? What's that?
The Medes was Elam.
Were they?
I wrote it down and I'm trying to remember my name.
Y'all gotta know this. Y'all have to know this. What?
The Medes were Iranian.
The Medes were who? Iran?
Yes.
Okay. And then who were the Persians? Who were the Persians? Now, what I'm looking up here is Habar is over in Assyria by the Euphrates. So we were scattered. You got our people scattered all through the Euphrates, right? I wouldn't say not that far from us, but still out of our land, right? Gozan was the Mesopotamian city near the middle of the Euphrates, while exiled the Israelites settled. Right? It says here. I should have got my little Bible map. It says and y'all can Google this too, map wise. You get your Bible maps, but this is y'all should be writing this stuff down. Y'all should be getting this information. Y'all need this. This is another reason how we know that all Israelites are not going to look the same. And we were scattered in these lands, and we never, a lot of times, ended up being able to get back to our original land. You see, we're going to look like, act like, talk like the other nations. So this is why the Most High, you can't judge by sight all the time. Y'all get that? And that's what I was looking up. Habar, and it says, goes on. Now, I'm going to have y'all tell me next class who the Persian and Medes are, because we've been over this a million times. You should know that. You know what I mean? You sisters should know that. You know what I mean? Y'all should know who the Persian and Medes are. We went over Daniel 7 how many times? We went over the Babylonians, Persian and Medes, the Greeks, the Romans. We even touched on the Assyrians like we're doing now. So go ahead and go back.
Verse 7.
For
so it was,
right,
that the children of Israel had sinned against the Lord their God.
Go ahead.
Which had brought them up out of the land of Egypt. From under the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. And had feared of the gods. Verse 8. And walked in the statutes of the heathen.
Right.
Whom the Lord cast out from before the children of Israel. And out of the king of Israel, which they had made.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. And of the kings of Israel, which they had made. And the children of Israel did secretly those things that were not right against the Lord their power.
Right. So obviously we know why. We don't have to go over that. The Most High, we sinned. We were rebellious. We were stubborn. Y'all done got millions of those classes. So we switching it up tonight. We know we was wicked. We was off. We was out of order. Go ahead. You're going to read verse 9 and you're going to jump to verse 23.
Verse 9. And the children of Israel did secretly those things that were not right against the Lord their power.
Yeah, the same thing like now. Are people adopting the ideologies of the other nations, right? And in secret, they do the same things the other nations do. Go ahead.
And they built them high places in all their cities, from the tower of the watchman to the fenced city. Jumping down to verse 23.
Go ahead.
Until the Lord removed Israel out of his sight, as he had said by all his servants, the prophets.
Because what was the prophecy in Deuteronomy? What was the curse that the Most High said in Deuteronomy would happen to the children of Israel if we disobeyed the commandments? What?
That we wouldn't see our homeland again.
Right. The Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, and thou shalt see it no more again. He said, I will scatter you in all the kingdoms of the earth.
That's right.
Right? So we know that. Go ahead.
So was Israel carried away out of their own land to Assyria unto this day.
So a lot, and we know you got the 9.5 end up leaving in Assyria and coming where? To America. Right? So we already displaced. But what happened? What happened when we got displaced? You got a lot of Israelites, majority of them, left and fled over here to America. Right? So what about our land? Right? Because that's what we think. When we look at the news now and we see these people over there, right? It confuses us because they're in the land. They're Israelites over there. That's what we're being told, right? What?
It's like, so I went to the doctor when I was pregnant with her, and they're like, what's your religion or whatever, because I wasn't agreeing to certain tests that they wanted me to do, and I was like, oh, I'm an Israelite. They're like, oh, were you born there? Like,
Right.
Oh, were your parents from there? No. Then you're not an Israelite.
Right. Yeah, oh, don't let them tell me that. I'll rip through the whole damn hospital. Yeah, you can't just stand there and just drop your mouth. You got to be like, well, remember, we're slaves, right? You got to show them that, look, remember, we came over here. Is this your land? No, you stole it, right? Okay, so how did you get here? Right? Like, yeah, so, yeah, I'm not going to let that slide. All that slick talk. You're going to get ripped with some history. You know what I mean? But what happened as we were displaced? Go ahead.
And the king of Assyria brought men from Babylon.
Right. They did what?
Brought men from Babylon.
So who's the Babylonians? Man, I ain't going to tell y'all all this. Y'all should be knowing this. Allison. The Babylonians are Ethiopians. So he brought men from Babylon, right? Ethiopians. So we're gone. We're in Assyria now. The 9.5 flee to, and I'm not going to touch on all that history because we won't get through the class that we're going over. We'll have to go into the 9.5. We know that 722 BC, we went into captivity under the Assyrians. The Assyrians took us out of the land to be captives. A lot of us fled out of Assyria to Asareth, which is another land, right? And we fled not only to America, but you got us being scattered through all the kingdoms of the earth, right? That's what the prophecy is. But when we were taken out, read it again.
And the king of Assyria,
right,
brought men from Babylon,
right,
and from Cuthah,
right,
and from Avad,
and
from Hamath, and from Sepharvaim,
right,
and placed them in the cities of Samaria.
So you're gonna go get other nations and place them in our land. Now check this out. This is the beginning of why you see different people in our land. Why you don't see the children of Israel really there. And we're going to get to why it's always going to be war. Why it's always going to be turmoil. Why there's never going to be peace in that land. Go ahead, read on.
Instead of the children of Israel.
Instead of us being in our land, in Samaria, what happened? They put heathens in our land. Go ahead.
And they possessed Samaria and dwelt in the cities thereof.
Go ahead.
And so it was at the beginning of their dwelling there that they feared not the Lord.
Right.
Therefore the Lord sent lions among them.
Right. So they bring these heathens in our land, and the Most High did what? Sent lions to go tear them up. Go ahead.
Which slew some of them.
Go ahead.
Wherefore they spake to the king of Assyria, saying, the nations which thou hast removed and placed in the cities of Samaria know not the manner of the Most High of the land.
Go ahead.
Therefore he hath sent lions among them, and behold, they slay them, because they know not the manner of the power of the land.
Go ahead.
Then the king of Assyria commanded, saying, carry thither one of the priests whom ye brought from thence, and let them go and dwell there. And let him teach them the manner of the power of the land.
Wait a minute. So now, not only do you got our land, you're going to take our priests and they're going to teach you how to worship in our land. So, this is the beginning of nations, heathens, stealing our identity. Stealing our land, stealing our culture. This is right out of the Bible. And that's why the Ethiopians, they have this, we go back to King David. No, you don't. You go back to Cush. You go back to the Babylonians. You see that? Now this is one nation. Alright? We ain't stopping. This is one nation that learn our laws, statutes, and commandments. They even got a Bible. I ordered it. It's the Sumerian Old Testament. And this is supposed to be one of the oldest Bibles that was written during this time. It was supposed to be one of the oldest Bibles that was written during this time. So they go in, they steal our land, they steal our culture, they learn from our priests, and over centuries, you grow up thinking what? I'm a Jew. I'm a Jew.
Ethiopian Jew.
I'm an Ethiopian Jew. Right? These cats were called Falashan Jews. Right? Falasha. They were Falashan Jews. And you still got a lot of them over there like that. You still got a lot of people that believe that, a lot of these Ethiopians that believe they're Jews. Right? Go to 1 Maccabees 1:38. So, now we got Ethiopians in our land, right? Calling themselves Jews, the chosen. Remember the woman, the woman that came up to him
At the well.
at the well. What was she?
She was Syrophoenician.
She was an Ethiopian. And what happened to her? What Christ say to her? You're not going to worship now, nor in the kingdom to come. Why? Because she wasn't of Abraham. You see that?
God.
So you got Ethiopians in our land. 1 Maccabees.
This is the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 38. Insomuch that the inhabitants of Jerusalem fled because of them, whereupon the city was made an habitation.
Okay, hold on a second. When you read, you gotta read with some context, some like conviction. You gotta read with some passion, because it takes out the validity of the Bible. It kind of diminishes the validity of what we're going over. So you got to read with a little more passion, please. Let's start from, I want you to start from 1 Maccabees 1. And you're going to start at a verse, start at 29.
God. This is 1 Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 29. And after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude.
Right.
And spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit. For when they had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore.
Now, who knows about the captivity of, or what captivity is this? Anybody? Anybody? Karadazai, you know what captivity this is? So if you go to 1 Maccabees 1, it says that it happened after the year of Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Kittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persian and Medes. Right? So now, who is this talking about?
Persian.
And it had happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Kittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persian and Medes. So who is trying to conquer now? Yeah,
The Greeks.
right. So you got Alexander the Great conquering.
This is 333. You see.
You understand? So you go from 722, right? Now I'm jumping because we ain't got time to go over all that. I'm trying to give y'all some context of how these heathens got in our land. How these nations, from the Ethiopians, from the so-called white people, from all these other little nations, how they got in our land. You see, it was based on them moving us out and them coming in. So at this time, the Greeks are trying to gain power. They overthrow the Persian and Medes, and they're setting up to take over our land. This is what's happening. That's the synopsis, right? When we get into Maccabees for the Sabbath, y'all get the whole full story. Go ahead.
and destroyed much people of Israel.
Go ahead.
And when he had taken the spoils of the city,
Uh-huh.
he set it on fire.
Right. So that's what they did. They came in, they overthrew our temples, they overthrew our land, right? They burned up our books, they burned up our information. Do you know why a lot of information, they're trying to dig it up and find it? Two things. One, a lot of information they dig up, they're not, those artifacts, they're not claiming they're Hebrews. So now they're digging up artifacts, right? All this information and all this stuff, and all these, man, from pots to graves, right? Because when you deal with archaeology, that's what they do. How come they ain't never finding you can never see no images of black people over there? How come? And it's rare, when they do it with the Egyptians, they do it real quick. You will see a Negro's face on the wall, but they go to the light-skinned Egyptians real quick. Why? Because they don't want to show you that, no, there was actually black people in these lands. Right? And then when it comes to Israel, where's all the artifacts of the people? So a lot of the artifacts that they dig up, they don't attribute it to you, to the Israelites. They say, oh, this is another nation. This could have been the Canaanites. This could have been this. You see that? Not all of it. Because they came out with a little bit on, when you go to Joseph ruling in Egypt, they got an image of him, and guess what? He's black. You know what I mean? They didn't hide it because it came out through the Egyptian part. But when they deal with the Israelites, bro, they ain't showing a lot of information. Yeah.
That's like the Catholics. Everyone has Caesar Borgia, but the Pope actually they still worship the Black Virgin Mary.
Right. They still worship the Black Virgin Mary. Yeah. I mean, they're getting hip to it now. Like if you go, they changing a lot of the images up over there.
Yeah, but there's one that they don't change.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah, real chocolate. I seen it. A real chocolate image. Yeah, real chocolate image of Mary and Yahushua, black as hell. Right? But these are the things that they're hiding from us. Why? Because they want to keep pushing this lie. The nations have become federate against us. Yeah.
What was the year of Alexander the Great conquering?
They're around 222 BC. 222 BC. Yeah. Huh?
Or is it
333 BC. Okay, I stand corrected. It is 333. Right. I thought it was. Yeah, 333. He's right. Maybe I'm thinking of the Romans. I'm thinking of the Romans. So yeah, but y'all see what's going on here, right? I try to make it. I'm trying to make it very simple on establishing that the nations, they came in and moved us out of our own land. They put implants in our own land. Now we come up to the Greeks. Guess what? They're doing the same thing, burning our land, taking it over. Go ahead, read on.
And pulled down the houses and walls thereof on every side.
Go ahead.
But the women and children took they captive.
Why? Why do you keep the women and the children? Raise your hand. Anybody? Why do you keep that woman? Why, sis? To reproduce. We need to get her to be productive. We can rape her. We can make her bear our children. So you got an Israelitish woman, but the father's a heathen. Right? Then you got the kids. They can be raised as what? They can be raised under our culture.
Yeah.
You see that? Now they're being raised looking and acting and walking and talking like these other nations. Right? There's is it called Barbarians on Netflix? It's Barbarians, right? On Netflix. When you go into them, he kidnaps one of the barbarians and raises him as a Roman. Right? That's what they do. They take us, they raise them, right? But because the barbarians were Israelites. Y'all know that? Remember when Paul said to the barbarians, That was Israel. Barbarian just means like brutish, animal, right? That's all that means. That's all a barbarian is. When the nations looked upon us, they looked at us as what? Brutish, animal, beastly, wild. So they called us barbarians. That was us. So in this series, they do what? They take the barbarian, raise him as a Roman, cut his hair off. Now he has no beard. He looks, he walks, he talks, he acts like a Roman. He even knows the language. So this is why you save the kids. You save the women. Right? Go ahead, read on.
And possessed the cattle. Then builded they the city of David with a great and strong wall, and with the mighty towers, and had it a stronghold for them.
Right, go ahead.
And they put therein a sinful nation.
And wait, listen. Read that again. They did what?
And they put therein.
They did what?
They put therein.
Who is in our land right now?
A sinful nation.
They put in our land a sinful nation. So you already got from 722 all these Ethiopians in there. Then you got, remember, we skipped the Persian and Medes. That was a whole nation that we had, that we went through, that conquered us, right? That slaughtered us, right? Now you come up to the Greeks. What are they doing? They move us out and they implant what? A sinful nation, right? And that's it. They occupy your land. Now first of all, think about this. You got the Israelites that are already over here in America, scattered through America, right? You got a little bit of portion that is back, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, that is back over in these different lands. There was some 9.5 here. But think about this. We are already misplaced. From 722 BC. Y'all see this? So you got to see that how and why those people over in America, in Israel, are not the people of the land. They're not the chosen people. On top of the images, the color scriptures, how the true Jews look, right? How the people of God look. But this is that archaeology in the Bible showing us that, wait a minute, they've been doing this to us for a long time. Moving us out and planting heathens in our land. Yes, sis.
That's like, I think it was, I don't know what they call their president or whatever of Israel said that he wasn't going to give the land to them because the Jews left black.
Oh, that's Gamar Nasir. He was an Egyptian president, and he said, I don't know why I didn't just bring all my books. But anyway, he said that, I'm not going to, how could the Jews leave black and come back white? So he never respected those people over there. But remember, over time, they did what? They what? Over time, they whitewashed us out. Little by little, they pushed us out of our land, right? To where you don't even think about it. What's up?
I was going to ask you to spell that name.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to. I got it in the book.
Gamal.
There you go.
Gamal, Abdel, Abdel, Nasir, Nasser.
Yeah.
And he said, the Europeans claiming to be Jews are nothing more than Hebrew-speaking Gentiles. The late president of Gamal, Abdel Nasir, stated on television, you Jews will never be able to live here in peace because you left here black but came back white. We cannot accept you.
Right.
That was in 1952.
Right. So these people over there, she could throw that one up there too. What did you look up to put that one up?
I just put the quote up. And the picture came up.
Yeah. So these people are not the people of the Most High, man. You know what I mean? They're not the people of the Most High. And you see if you go through the scriptures, you can start to see little by little how they were implanted. One nation to the next nation. Right? And where are we at now? Captivity. We're learning what the Gentiles want us to learn. We're being taken. We're running. A lot of times, come on. We didn't want to go through that captivity, so we're going to do what? We're going to run. Right?
Wow.
So read that part again. What verse are you at?
Verse 34.
Go ahead.
And they put therein a sinful nation, wicked men, and fortified themselves therein.
Go ahead.
They stored it also with armor and victuals, and when they had gathered together the spoils of Jerusalem, they laid them up there, and so they became a sore snare. For it was a place to lie in wait.
Wait. So they became a what?
Sore snare.
Right, like a trap. So that's what happened when these nations come in. They're a trap. They get us caught up into all their ideas, their ideologies. That's why they really push this. Is you got to be proud to be American. You know what I mean? Remember, we are. What happens when you go to another land and you we're displaced?
Refugees.
There you go. We're refugees. This is not our land, right? It definitely ain't the white man's land, right? Our tribes found it first, but our land goes back home. It goes back to Jerusalem. They just have it right now. Go ahead.
For it was a place to lie in wait against the sanctuary and an evil adversary to Israel.
Go ahead.
Thus they shed innocent blood on every side of the sanctuary and defiled it.
And that's what why? Why do they do this? I was going to give you the answer, but I was like, why? Why? Think about it. Right? They're breaking down your education. They're destroying your education and what you believe in. Remember, this was our educational system. The law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. So this is what they do. And then they what? Indoctrinate you what they want you to know. Go ahead, read on.
Insomuch that the inhabitants of Jerusalem fled because of them. Whereupon the city was made an habitation of strangers.
What? Read that again.
Whereupon the city was made an habitation of strangers.
Wait, who dwells in Jerusalem right now?
Strangers.
Right. Nations. This guy. Yeah, strangers dwell in Jerusalem. You understand that? These ain't the real Jews. They ain't the real Hebrew Israelites. They're not the real children of Yahub, right? Go ahead.
And became strange to those that were born in her.
Wait a minute. And became what?
Strange to those that were born in her.
Everybody in the land right now, these cats are strangers. They're not of the land. Y'all understand that? Go ahead.
And her own children left her.
And her what?
Her own children left her.
This is right out of the Bible. You see why they don't mess with this apocrypha? It's so much information historically in here. They don't want you to know that. Go to 2 Maccabees 11 and 1. So it's just showing you, man, that these nations over there, they're not the people of the Lord. They're not the people of the land. And this is why the Most High is destroying that land. This is why there's constant war. You fighting over something that's not yours. You fighting, man. Because the Muslims, that ain't their land either. Come on, let's be real about this. That's not their land either. Hold that before you go there. Go to the Babylon, the Timbuktu. Read that, what happened in 70 A.D.
This is Babylon the Timbuktu, page 84.
Go ahead.
Second paragraph. In the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem.
Right.
In 70 AD, General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state.
And y'all know this. Y'all should know this. This should be tatted in the forethought of your mind. Is that this is what happened to the Israelites in 65 BC?
Time.
They surrounded Jerusalem. In 70 AD, they captured it. So for 5 years, nobody can come in, nobody can leave. So what are you doing then? You're doing what it says in Deuteronomy. You're eating your kids. No food. It's a famine. You got to live 5 years off of what? Whatever you got in the city. You can't go out. If you go out, you're going to be destroyed. So this is what happened, how they conquered us. Go ahead.
General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state.
Go ahead.
With great slaughter.
Go ahead.
During the period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrageous and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people.
Right. Go ahead. You got to read correct. Go ahead.
During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa.
Now, once again, I'm jumping. 722 BC, 333 BC, 65 BC, all the way down the timeline. Right? We're finding out that we was constantly running or misplaced or heathens were put in our land. It said we fled where?
Into Africa.
So we fled out of our land and we fled into Africa. So once again, of course, that's how we got in Africa, right?
God.
But who's in our land? Who's in our land?
Heathens.
Nations growing up. Learning your laws, statutes, commandments, living among you. So this is what we have over there, man. We got white people over there. We got the nations that ain't even got nothing to do with our laws and commandments over there. We got Ethiopians over there. They get probably more respect than us. That's why they try to put you on blast. You know what I mean? Well, are you born over there? You know what I mean? What's that?
First man, just one simple one that we always go to show once we left, this is what they did.
Come on, go ahead.
First Maccabees chapter 3, verse 48.
Mm-hmm.
So while we left out of there from Roman persecution, and this is what they did while they occupied our land in Jerusalem, in all our borders. Go ahead.
This is the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 3 and verse 48. And laid open the book of the law.
So what they did was they laid open our records. They laid open whatever records we had in our countries, in our homes, in the temples. They laid all these things open. What did they do?
Wherein the heathen has sought to paint the likeness of their images.
And that's what they did. They changed all the imagery. If we drew a painting of our brother, then they changed that image into what they look like.
So you're going to be moved out of your land. You're going to be put in another land, right? And then we're going to take down all your images and put up different images. So what did they do? Literally rewrite history. They rewrote history, right? Y'all got to think about this. This is why a lot of unless you know the Bible and unless you really know history and these archaeology books that we be going to, a lot of Hebrew Israelites, and the actual information, because this is why you gotta know this. A lot of people don't think that we got the information, that we over here just running our mouth because we're just as angry black people trying to identify with another nation. No, this ain't that. This is literal information, documented, historical archaeology and anthropology that you can dig into and say, wait a minute, there's something wrong. It's not matching up. You know what I mean? So all this information that's came out. What you was going to say, sis?
In high school, they told us that our history books that we had were written by the victor.
Right, exactly. So they're going to tell you what the hell they want to tell you. You know what I mean? You were a Mexican border jumper that what? Didn't know how to brush your teeth and you was butt naked running around in Aztlan, you know what I mean, in Mexico, right? Or you was a butt naked, spear chucking, jigaboo, right? Watermelon eating,
Pickaninny.
pickaninny, right? Street cheater that don't know nothing. You didn't even know how to brush your teeth. When you look at all the information during the Copper Age and Iron Age, go back to the Copper Age and Iron Age and put the Bible in that. We had wisdom. Yeah. We had knowledge. We had understanding. You're talking about during the time of Abraham. During those times, well, Abraham wasn't walking around trying to, I'm going to start fire. Yeah. You got these monkeys, you know what I mean? But look up the Copper Age and Iron Age. Get your dates. Then go to the Bible and look at where Abraham fits. He had wisdom. Jacob, Isaac, you know what I mean? Rebecca, these cats had knowledge and understanding. We had laws. We weren't walking around with the dirty mouths and butt naked. But that's what they would have you think. You leave it up to the white man, he would tell you you were garbage until he came around and showed you how to have sex with horses and dogs and dolphins and little boys. That's what makes them civilized. It's because they knew how to have sex with animals and little boys. And they came in to bring us this great wisdom. Right? Hell nah, man. You tripping. Finish that,
In Babylon 2:2?
No, you First Maccabees 3:48. Go ahead.
Verse 49.
Oh, you're done on that. Okay, go from there. Go back. Jump to 2 Maccabees 11:1.
2 Maccabees 11 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
Now long after this, Lysias, the king, protector, and cousin, who also managed the affairs.
Manage
the affairs.
Go ahead.
Took sore displeasure for the things that were done. And when he had gathered about 80,000 with all the horsemen, he came against the Jews.
Right.
Thinking to make the city an habitation of the Gentiles.
You see that? Every nation, it was about, we're going to take over these godly people. And we know why it happened. Because Israel was filthy. You wanted to act like the nations, walk, talk. So it was Most High was like, listen, I'm going to send the nations to you. I'm going to send them to your front door. So read that part again.
And when he had gathered about 80,000 with all the horsemen, he came against the Jews.
Right.
Thinking to make the city an habitation of the Gentiles.
Right, and this is what they've done over and over and over again. So now we're building up a little bit of historical content on how these people got in our land. Now we're understanding this, right? Go to Psalms. Go to Psalm 79 and 1. Go to Psalm 79 and 1.
Psalms chapter 79 and verse 1. O Yahweh, the heathen are come into thine inheritance.
The heathen are come into thine inheritance. And that's who's over there now. They're in our temple. The Roman Catholic Church, what did they do? When they conquered us, go and look at a Roman Catholic Church ceremony. We were talking about that the other day. Where they get that from? They got that from the Levitical priesthood. And what do? Take and add certain things. Take away and add certain things. Man, these heathens, man, they didn't worship nothing but Zeus, Thor, butt-naked white men with little Peters. You know what I mean? That's all they did. They worshiped butt-naked white men with little peepees.
You just sent you a King David?
Yeah, you see how they try to play David? When David, man, he He had to cover himself up all the way to almost his toes, because of how he was hung. But they gonna put that image, man, and make him like little white boy with his little Peter. But that's who ruled us, right? That's who's ruling us now. And they want to misplace us and continually over and over again. That's why it's always about, why don't you identify with us? Why don't you just become one of us?
Come.
Right? Why are you so angry? You know what I mean? But the funny thing is, you don't got to be angry. You just got to look at them in the face and say, listen, man, I'm like my forefathers. I've never been. I'm like my ancestors. We're never going to sell out. You know what I mean? This ain't a racist thing. This is this ain't a bigot thing. This is a racist thing. I'm for my race. I'm for my nation, just like you are. You love America, right? You want to ride around with the damn shirts and the flags on the back of your truck. I'm proud to be American. Right? Like, why is it when we become proud to be what we believe in, it's like we're racist, we're fascists, we're separatists.
Mad black men.
We're mad black men. But that psychology is being broke down. All the people are seeing that was just to dilute you and get you to believe in what they believe in. Right? Read that one more time. Psalm 79:1.
Psalm 79:1. O Yahweh, the heathen are come into thine inheritance.
Go ahead.
The holy temple have they defiled.
Right?
They have laid Jerusalem on heaps.
Right?
The dead bodies of thy servants have they given to be meat unto the fowls of the heaven.
Yeah, man, that's what they did. The heathen have overthrew us. They conquered us. They took our land. This is what's going on. And guess what? We know. We ain't dumb as hell. We're not going to run around and act like this ain't obvious. Hell yeah, the Most High is going to burn them down over there in Jerusalem. Little by little. He's going to save the land, because that's still going to be our land. He ain't going to let it burn all the way to where it's a big hole in Jerusalem. But they got to trot that city down. Why? Because the Most High is showing all the world, nah, those ain't the holy people in that land. I'm going to show you when the holy people are in that land. Go to Ezekiel 26:2. Ezekiel 26:2. So y'all got to watch the news, man. Y'all got to know what's going on over there. This is prophecy happening. Go ahead.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 26 and verse 2.
Go ahead.
Son of man, because that Tyrus hath said against Jerusalem, Aha, she is broken. That was the gates of the people. She is turned unto me. I shall be replenished. Now she is laid waste.
All the nations were confederate. All the nations were about taking our identity, our strength. You think they was going to be ruled by the chosen people forever? No, every step of the way it was about taking your identity, your nationality, your power, finding some way to break your reign on the earth. Yeah. That's what this was about. You're going to go to Psalms 83. Come.
Psalms 83, verse 1.
Go ahead.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Go ahead.
Behold, hold not thy peace.
Right.
And be not still.
Go ahead.
O power, for lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
Right, and they hate the Most High. Remember, why does it say the earth is given into the hand of the wicked? Look, this is not even a trick question. What's the next point in the verse? When it says the earth is given in the hand of the wicked, what did they do? Karazazah.
They polluted the earth.
When it says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and you read in that verse, what does it say they did? Yes, sis.
They took the inhabitants thereof.
They covered the faces of the judges, right?
Come.
Yeah. Damn, you don't know
Joe 9:24.
Joe 9:24? I said in the verse. It's like y'all here, but not listen. I said in the verse. What's the next thing? I'm just trying to see if y'all awake. They covered the faces of the judges thereof. They took over the earth to do what? Cover you up.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't. They wouldn't. No. Nobody on earth would know who the chosen people are. Yeah, sis.
But in verse 3 it says that they cut them off from being a nation so that way they would be no more Israel in remembrance.
We're gonna. Yeah, you're jumping a little ahead. But yeah. Watch. Read on.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
Right. So when you go back to 722, when you go back to 333, when you go back to 65, these are some biblical times. But there's been many wars and skirmishes, man, to conquer the Holy Land. It's always been like that. But why? Because their job is to cover your face, cover your identity, cover your nationality, cover your history. So it's not a conspiracy theory. This is real. Go ahead.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
Right. Go ahead.
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
Go ahead.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
That's the point. That the name of Israel be no more in remembrance. Y'all get this? Go to Lamentations 5 and 2. Let me try to get through these.
Lamentations chapter 5 and verse 2.
Go ahead.
Our inheritance is turned to strangers.
Who's over there in Israel fighting with Gaza? Read it again.
Our inheritance is turned to strangers.
Right. Who is calling themselves Jews over there in Israel right now?
Our inheritance is turned to strangers.
Man, these cats are strangers, man. Heathens. These are not God's people. These are not the chosen royal priests that the Most High set up to rule the earth. That's why there's constant war. That's why there's constant bloodshed. Listen, that's why there's faggots, lesbians in the Holy Land. How the hell is it so holy when you got faggots, lesbians, transvestites in the middle of God's land?
Right?
Read it one more time.
Our inheritance is turned to strangers. Our houses to aliens.
Do you see that? Our houses to aliens. They're the damn aliens. Y'all see this? Go from there. Go to Ezekiel 36 and 2. Ezekiel 36, 2 down to verse 5.
Ezekiel 36 and verse 2.
Go ahead.
Thus said the Lord God, because the enemy have said against
They're the what?
because the enemy have said against
Right.
aha, even the ancient high places are ours in possession.
And that's why they moved the Holy Lands. That's why they moved the real I think it's Solomon's temple. Right? They move all the archaeology, they hide it. Because they're saying, no, we got this. This is our land.
Yeah, they moved the capital from Jerusalem to Tel Aviv. They moved around our artifacts and our landmarks.
You see that?
God.
So read on.
Therefore, prophesy and say, thus said the Lord God,
Right?
because they have made you desolate
Right?
and swallowed you up on every side, that ye might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen.
And that's what the point was, to make you servants and slaves for their sake. Now y'all seeing why the Most High is angry with them? Why they're not just going to get a pass? Because they continually lie. Right? And they're so deep in the lies. Man, could anybody, is anybody going to really stand up right now? They're so deep in the lies and the falsehood. Who's going to stand up and say, you know what, man, we've been lying. The Negroes are the true Jews in America. Who's gonna do that?
It's the whole thing about a lie. When you lie, once you lie, if they try to tell the truth, then everything they've ever said was a lie.
Nah, man, they gonna start kidding. Go ahead and let somebody try to open up their mouth.
So they're gonna pop them.
But that's why they'll let the crazy Hebrew Israelites scream on the corners. You know what I mean? Why? Because most of them make foolish of the damn self. So they're going to let us do that. They're going to let us be the angry Bible bullies. But that's why y'all got to have your information. Y'all got to know the history. You know what I mean? We're going to have to start a history class on Wednesdays going into the history and the archaeology on these things so y'all can have these things. Because y'all got to know this. Y'all got to be able to break their ass down and show them, nah, we're not just angry black people yelling. We literally know what the hell we're talking about. Go ahead.
And ye are taken up in the lips of talkers.
Right.
And are an infamy of the people.
Yeah, we're an infamy of the people, man. And that's what they created us to be. And they've done it so perfect, man. So exquisitely. The reverse psychology, they reverse the reverse psychology. They got you thinking and you unsure our people are unsure. They look at us like, this don't even make. But then when you start showing them those history books, you start opening up the Babylon, the Timbuktu, you start opening up the lost tribes, the promised lands, the island of Hispaniola. What is this one right here I got right here?
The mysteries of...
I'm going to have to start bringing my books over here. We gotta do these, we gotta do the mysteries of the pyramids of Mexico, mysteries of the Mexican pyramids. You know what I mean? All these things, man, all these books and information, all these information, these books we got, I took all my home.
Yeah, some of these are fine.
Yeah, right here, the Nature's No Color Line. Right? What do we got here? Yeah, this is a good one too. The secret history of the Jesuits. Like all this information we got, you ain't just gonna say, oh, you know what, these some crazy ass cats. Right? So go ahead and read on.
Verse 4.
Therefore,
ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord God.
Go ahead.
Thus saith the Lord God,
right,
to the mountains,
read,
and to the hills,
read,
and to the rivers, and to the valleys, to the desolate waste, and to the cities that are forsaken,
right,
which became a prey and derision to the residue of the heathen.
Go ahead.
That are round about. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen.
Read.
And against all Idumea.
Against who?
All Idumea.
That's the so-called white man, Esau, Idumea. They were known as the Idumeans. It says Edom was known as the city, Rome was known as the city of Edom. Idumea. So, why do you think the Most High is angry with them? Because, man, these cats over there, bruh, they are all, I'm not going to say they're all Edomites. A lot of them are of these other countries too. Because, once again, we just read, they got a lot of Colossian Jews over there. Go ahead.
Which have appointed my land into their possession.
They did what?
Appointed my land into their possession.
So, you see, the Idumeans, the so-called white man, the Edomites, have appointed his land to their possession. And why do you think they're Confederate? Why do you think America backs Israel? Think about it. They don't back Gaza. They don't back a lot of those Arabic countries over there, especially when it comes to the ones without no oil, the little small ones. I forgot the dang little. I forgot the name. Forgive me for that, but the little country they're going to war with, or the little cities over there they're going to war with, they don't back them. They don't back those Arabic countries. They're going back the Arabs, the sheiks with the oil and the money. You know what I mean? But they make sure When they put out this stuff, they're telling Israel, oh no, let's do peace. But if it was the other way around, if those Arabs was blowing up Israel, like these fake Israelites are doing, bruh, they would have bombed. America would have already came in and bombed the hell out of those Arabs in Gaza. They would have bombed them. But they want to promote that lie. And that's why they back these fake Israelis, these fake Jews. Go ahead.
With the joy of all their heart, with the despiteful minds, to cast it out for a prey.
Right. Go from there. Go to Zechariah 9 and 6. That's the heat right there, man. Zechariah 9 and 6. Read that.
Zechariah chapter 9 and verse 6.
Go ahead.
And a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod.
In Ashdod.
In Ashdod.
Right. A what?
A bastard shall dwell in Ashdod.
That's who's over there in Ashdod. That's who's over there in the Holy Land. A bastard. These cats are implants, man. They're not the holy people. They're not the people of the Lord. Read it one more time.
And a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod.
And just because we got to, go to Revelation 2:9 and 3:9.
God, come on now.
Go to Revelation 2:9 and 3:9.
Revelations 2 and verse 9. I know thy works and tribulation.
Go ahead.
And poverty.
Go ahead.
But thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not.
Yeah, these cats. So, if y'all didn't know why the Most High is destroying Israel, why the Most High is destroying that land, why the Most High is putting to death a lot of those people, because there's a bastard over there that has stolen the Holy Land, conquered it, has taken it from you, while you sit over here in the ghettos and the slums, and you fight over the crumbs, welfare. You fight over a pandemic check. You fight over some dang new sneakers or shoes from somebody in your neighborhood. A bastard is in the Holy Land. Like we talked about it the other day. And what do they do when you go over there to the Holy Land? Oh, by the way, I don't know if y'all seen it on the news. This is on the news. You can go to World Star. I should have sent that out in the camp text. They're kicking all the cats over there in Dimona. They're kicking them out. They're kicking all of them out. Flee to Israel. Let's flee out of Babylon. I guess that kills that right now, right? Yeah, like, we're going to flee. We're going back to the Holy Land. No, you're not. They kicking all of them out. They gave them a certain time, and the sister went on there and was like, they've been out of there since the 60s or 50s or something?
Around that time.
50 years. And so, like the kids, they showed some of their kids in the background, and you can tell these cats look like they grew up in another country. You know what I mean? They ain't got the same vibe as you out here in America. But they Israelites. These cats were Americans, black Americans, like they call them, like Afro-Americans that went over there 50 years, 50 years of generations growing up over there, and they're saying, nah, get out of here.
Can they legally do that though? Because some home would be.
Yes. Bro, they already do that to their own people. They're already doing that to people over there in that land, in that area, displacing them. The whole battle and war that's going on, it's about them moving their settlements. So Gaza's trying to they're trying to move these Muslims out. You know what I mean? You didn't see the one on the news where she's like, "You're in my land." She's like, "Look, this is my house. Your house is over there, right? You're trying to take mine." The dude, this is on the news. I wish we could have pulled it up. He comes back and says, if I don't, somebody will. This old big discussing as so-called Jew. Right? Just red as hell. But they don't care. How you the Lord's people? And what about thieving, stealing? What about that? So you got to see that a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod. The Most High said they're not the Jew. Go from there. Let's go to the second point. So when is the land going to become at peace? When are we going to get peace? Go to Isaiah 2:2. When is peace going to come to the Holy Land? All right? I want y'all to think of a few things. When is peace going to come? And when is the Holy Land going to be shed of these people? So a few things are going to come out in this topic. In this chapter. Read that, Isaiah 2:2.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 2 and verse 2.
Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountain.
Right, so in the last days, remember how it's worded, it shows you as we get into the kingdom, right? Because there's an ushering in from the last days to the implementing of the kingdom, to Yahweh Shai implementing and ruling the earth, right? That's why it's worded like that. The last days, right? You're talking about the final last days, right? After all the destruction has happened, Yahweh Shai comes through. Go ahead.
The Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains and shall be exalted above the hills.
Go ahead.
And all nations shall flow unto it.
Right. So, in the last days, all nations are going to go to the land of Israel. They literally try to say this happened. You can't even go over there right now. Now, would you want to go over there? Once again, what do they have in Israel? Homosexuality, gay clubs in the middle of the Holy Land, right? They kosher pork. How you gonna kosher pork? How does that make? Because you prayed over it, it makes it clean.
And that's their definition. Like you can eat kosher shrimp, kosher lobster, because it's free.
Wow. So you can eat kosher defiled food. So pray over a piece of dookie, long as you prayed over it and eat it, it's fine, right?
But you cannot.
What?
You cannot.
What?
Eat a cheeseburger.
Right, because it got meat and cheese.
No.
These cats are idiots, man. Yeah, there you go. Keep those images up there. Look at this. This is in the Holy Land. Faggots, gay day parades.
Oh, they had the biggest, it was 2019, I think, before the pandemic. They had the biggest in history gay day parade.
Wow.
It was in Jerusalem.
Wow. Mm-hmm. So now we understand why the Most High said we're going to find out there's not going to be no peace in the land. Wow. There's no peace in the Middle East until this happens. Until Israel is set up above all nations, and all nations will flow into it. Ain't nobody flowing to the Holy Land right now. It's going to tell us when. Go ahead.
And many people shall go and say, Come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord.
Yeah, I seen some little documentary, man. You had them two old ass Edomites, going out for vacation, talking about this is the prophecy. It's coming to pass. Like, no, all nations. It ain't gonna be two old ass Edomites that got on a boat, got on a boat for a few 4-day ride cruise and went over there to Israel. Yeah, man, boy, these cats, they be capping. No, this is the earth coming back to the Father. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth. That's when the land is going to be at peace. As of right now, there's heathens in it. They got to be cast out the damn land. They got to be taken out of there. Go ahead.
To the house of God of Jacob.
Go ahead.
And he will teach us of his ways. And he will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law.
Right?
And the word of the Lord from Jerusalem.
Right. You see that? So is in Zion, in Mount Zion, are they teaching the law, statutes, commandments? All nations going to them and saying, man, let's go learn the laws of righteousness. No, there's still gay people in there. There's still homosexuality. There's still transvestites in the middle of Jerusalem. So no, this is not them, Jerusalem being set up. This is so great. Man, I wish y'all could have seen that. It's the prophecy coming to pass. No, it's not the prophecy. Why? Because something has to happen. Before that happens, and this happens in Isaiah 2, something has to happen. Read on.
And he shall judge among the nations. And shall rebuke many people.
He's got to do what?
Rebuke many people.
Yeah, the nation's got to be rebuked. And you know what that means? And I'm not going to have time to go into all it. He said he would bring them in the valley of decision, and he was going to make war with them. When the hell did that happen? That's the only way peace is going to be brought in the Middle East. That's the only way our land is going to be brought back to us. We got to see this, man. Man, Esau, that's why y'all got to know, you got to know your Bible. You got to know these scriptures, man. Go ahead.
And they shall beat their swords into plowshares.
Right.
And their spears into pruning hooks.
Okay, so wait a minute. The prophecy has been fulfilled. Well, how the hell come those missiles is blowing your damn house up? Think about it. If the prophecy's been fulfilled, why is Jerusalem right now getting bombed? Why is Gaza getting bombed? Because it's all our land. No matter how they try to split it, you just blowing our land up. They're trying to. You should see the line that they're trying to cut in the middle of in the middle of the Holy Land. Like, look, this is your land. This is ours. Right? They just blew up a building over there in Gaza, man. It was housing. Y'all ain't seen this on the news? It was housing the. They said it was housing terrorists, right? Or militants, but it was just for the media.
Yeah.
They said they were using that place to promote false media. Basically, they blew up Al Jazeera. They blew up an Al Jazeera building, which is the news out there.
Wow.
So it's showing you that I don't see that. That's beating your swords into plowshares, meaning that all those missiles, we become tools to guard with. All those weapons, the defense system of Israel, that Iron Dome, they got a hell of a system though. I ain't gonna lie. Have y'all seen that? Y'all should go do a little research on the Iron Dome. They got a system, man, radar. They set this up throughout the whole country. I want to say city. They got this through the country to where when they shoot missiles, that Iron Dome, man, shoots those missiles out of the air.
Yeah.
It's high class stuff.
It's footage of it.
And the only thing I be thinking is like, damn, if Israel got this, imagine what America got. If they got that in Israel, imagine what America got. You know what I mean? To like, when they shoot nukes over to America, America's gonna be, that's why Yahweh Shai, Christ, is the only one. You ain't gonna, no matter if they hit that button, America's gonna be shooting a lot of those nukes out of the sky. There you go. Those are the pictures right there. Go ahead, read on.
Nation shall not lift up sword against nation.
Go ahead.
Neither shall they learn war anymore.
Neither shall they do what?
Learn war anymore.
This don't look like they're not learning war anymore. Leave that up there. That don't look like they're learning war anymore. It's constantly at war. It's constantly unrest in the Holy Land. Why? Because the holy people are not there. Y'all see that? Go to one I didn't add in there. Go to Isaiah 1. Isaiah 1 and 7. Go to Isaiah 1 and 7.
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 1 verse 7. Your country is desolate. Your cities are burned with fire.
Read.
Your land, strangers devour it in your presence.
Right, man. man, our land is burnt with fire. And who has it? It says what?
Strangers devoured it.
Once again, strangers are over there. That's why the Holy Land is not at peace. That's why the Most High is destroying that place. Y'all see that? Oh yeah.
Saying your presence.
Go ahead.
And it is desolate.
Read.
As overthrown by strangers.
Go ahead. Right. It says it is desolate and overthrown by strangers. Go from there. Go to Joel 3 and 10. Go to Joel 3 and 10. You're going to read down. Karadazai, you read that. Joel 3 and 10 on down.
Joel chapter 3 and verse 10.
Go ahead.
Beat your plowshares into swords.
Right, because that's what happened. That's what's supposed to happen, right? They're going to beat when Christ, when the holy people, when the earth is at rest, they're going to beat their swords in the plowshares, right? But he came back and said, beat your plowshares into swords. That's what's happening right now. It ain't the other way around. Read.
And your pruning hooks into spears.
That's what's happening. They're getting their weapons ready. So you see how what was it? Isaiah 2 said they were going to beat their weapons into gardening tools. Well, Joel's like, nah, y'all beating these into weapons now. Watch, read.
Let the weak say, I am strong.
Go ahead.
Assemble yourselves.
Read.
And come all ye heathen.
Read.
And gather yourselves together.
Go ahead.
Round about. Thither. Cause thy mighty ones to come. Cause thy mighty ones to come down. O Lord.
Read.
Let the heathen be weakened.
Read.
And come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat.
This is when the Holy Land is going to be at peace. The Most High is getting them ready to go to war with him. He said, you got to go to the valley of Jehoshaphat. Read.
For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about.
That's when they're going to beat their swords in the plowshares. The Most High has to judge. Israel has to be set up above all nations. The law has to go forth before Zion. Right? There's some more stuff. There's some more prophecies that show the land of the Lord is not inhabited by the holy people. It's specific things. We know there ain't no peace. We know there's weapons still over there. Right? We know there's destruction still going on. Go ahead.
Put ye in the sickle.
Go ahead.
For the harvest is ripe.
Go ahead.
Come, get you down. For the press is full. The fats overflow. For their wickedness is great.
You see, the wickedness that's going on in that land, the wickedness that's going on throughout the world is great. Go ahead.
Multitudes in the valley of decision. For the day of the Lord is near.
Right. So has this happened? Has the day of the Lord happened yet? So then Israel can't be set up above all nations yet. So that's another key thing to show us that the holy people are not in the land. It's still being inhabited by strangers. They need to be taken out. Go ahead.
For the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision.
Go ahead.
The sun and the moon shall be darkened.
Wait, when did that happen? When did the Lord come back? There was darkening, there was the sun, the moon. See, this is what we got to see. The Most High is destroying it and bringing down these heathen to show the world how we know that those ain't the people of God. Because no, these prophecies haven't been fulfilled. Go ahead.
And the stars shall withdraw their shining.
Go ahead.
The Lord also shall roar out of Zion. And utter his voice from Jerusalem.
Read.
And the heavens and the earth shall shake. But the Lord will be the hope of his people.
Read.
And the strength of the children of Israel. So shall ye know that I am the Lord, your power, dwelling in Zion.
Go ahead.
My holy mountain. Then shall Jerusalem be holy.
What?
Then shall Jerusalem be holy.
Wait a minute. What?
Then shall Jerusalem be holy.
Wait a minute. So it ain't holy till when? Who caught it?
Man.
It ain't holy till when? Who caught it? When is the land gonna be holy? Go ahead.
After the sun, the moon get darkened, after the day of the Lord.
There you go. That land ain't holy, bruh. It's holy with holy socks. Holy walls that they just been blowing through houses over there with missiles. These Arabs been shooting missiles in houses because they don't got defense systems like that.
No.
So all they're doing is they going over walls like this. And if they land, wherever they hit. Israel they making precision strikes. You know what I mean? So how do we know when the Lord will give that land back to the children of Israel? We got to wipe those heathen out of there. Then the land is going to be holy.
That's right.
When he brings them all to the valley of Jehoshaphat and burns them the hell up. Read on. Come on.
And there shall no strangers pass through her.
Wait a minute. Say it again.
And there shall no strangers pass through her anymore.
You see, and when that happens, guess who's never going to enter into the land of Jerusalem? Strangers.
That's right.
Makes sense.
The Most High is showing us. Watch. Check this out. Read on. I got a lot more. I don't think I'm going to get through it. Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass in that day that the mountains shall drop down new wine.
Right.
And the hills shall flow with milk.
Right. That's when the land is going to become milk and honey again. When the Lord comes back and sets them out and gets them the hell out of there. That's when Israel is going to be set up at the top of the mountain, and all nations are going to go into it and say, let's go to the law of the Lord. Let's go to learn the law from the real, true Jews.
Yeah.
What? Give me, what's that? Surely our Father, what is that? Jeremiah 16?
16, 19.
Go to Jeremiah 16 and 16, right?
19.
Go there.
Yeah.
Let's throw that one in there.
Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 19. O Lord, my strength and my fortress.
Right.
And my refuge in the day of affliction.
Read.
The Gentiles shall come unto me from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies.
Yeah, that's when we get them out of the land, when they be crushed, then they all be gonna be coming, man. Because they're not all, remember, Yahweh Shai is not Thanos snapping everybody the way they just, right? It could. That would be nice, but no. Nah. Then who would build? That don't make no sense. If you Thanos snapped everybody, who would build the walls? Who would build after everything's destroyed? Who would come back and have to do that work? It ain't gonna be us.
There's no excellency in you building your own kingdom.
Yeah, so he's not destroying them with the Thanos snap. He's going to destroy them down to a minimum small portion. Right? And they're not going to come through our land. They're not going to come through the Holy Land no more. Y'all get that, right? And they're going to come and say, surely our fathers have inherited lies. Because you're going to sit down and Yahweh Shai and the prophets are going to show them really where their ancestry comes from. Right? Go ahead.
Then, and things were in, there is no prophet.
And that's what they're going to find out, man. We've been telling the world lies for a long time. Go back to Micah real quick. Or go back to Joel.
Verse 18. And it shall come to pass in that day that the mountains shall drop down new wine.
Right.
And the hills shall flow with milk. And all the rivers of Judah.
You can finish that up. Y'all can add. Yeah, we ain't gonna have time. Go ahead and throw in Micah, the 4th chapter. I was gonna go through that whole chapter, but we ain't got time. I'll be here till about 10 o'clock. But I do want to get to the next point, right? Or go further into this point, I should say. So what is everybody waiting on? What?
The day of the Lord.
They're waiting on the day of the Lord. They're waiting on who? They're waiting on Yahweh Shai. Who else they waiting on? They waiting on you.
Manifestation.
Yeah. Yeah, they waiting on you. Go to Romans 8:19. Gotta throw that one in there.
Come on.
Romans 8:19 real quick, and they give me Revelations 21. Read that. We ain't gonna be able to go through all these, but I'm gonna go through Revelations 21.
Romans 8 and verse 19.
Let me see. Go ahead.
For the earnest expectation of the creature waited for the manifestation of the sons of God.
That's the only time that Jerusalem, the earth, the land, everybody's going to be at peace. When we step up and come in our stead. When the Most High lifts us up. But as we see in Joel, what has to happen? They got to be destroyed. Then the land will be holy. Until then, it's not the holy land. It's a defiled land. It's filthy. Right? Go to Revelation 21 and 1. Now let's look at some other key points. Revelation 21 and 1.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 21 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
And I saw a new heaven and new earth.
Right, because that's what we're waiting for, right?
God.
Listen, the whole world is waiting for that. Believe it or not, the heathens are waiting for this. Right? Even if it's coming with an ass whooping, they're waiting for this. The new heaven, new earth. Go ahead.
For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away.
Go ahead.
And there was no more sea.
Right?
And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from the Most High out of heaven.
Go ahead.
Prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
And that's twofold. It's talking about the city, but it's also talking about the people. Right? Because we're going to be prepared, and the city is going to be prepared. Read.
And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of the Most High is with men.
Go ahead.
And he will dwell with them. And they shall be his people. And God himself shall be with them.
Go ahead.
And be their God.
Read.
And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes.
So this is when the holy city is going to be at peace. This is when righteousness is established on the earth. When everything is wiped away. No more pain, no more suffering. Right? But something has to happen. The Most High got to destroy those wicked people over there. The Most High got to take them out of the land. That's the only time the tears are going to stop. All the crying and y'all got to watch the news, man. These cats, oh, my baby. Bro, one cat, his whole family got murked. But they found his it was maybe 5 or 8 month-old baby under the stones. Yeah, his whole family got murked. Wife, kids, all that. And it was just him and his baby. I was like, damn, the Most High is cold. Yeah. Most High is no joke. Yeah, all those pictures right there she's showing. But this is what has to happen. If the land was holy, if it was righteous, why are there still tears there? The only way there's not going to be any more tears, any more pain, any more missiles, any more bombings, any more gassings, is Yahweh Shai got to come back and destroy this place. He got to destroy Babylon the Great, and we got to take our land back. Go ahead.
And there should be no more death.
And there should be what?
No more death.
That's how you know that the Holy Land is not inhabited by the Lord's people, by righteousness. The prophecies ain't fulfilled. That's how you know. Because these things didn't come about. There's still death. All through the world. Go ahead.
Neither sorrow, nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain.
Right. Does that look like the pain is gone away? The suffering is gone away? No, the Most High is still killing those people over there. Why? Because they need to get the hell up out of our land. Go ahead.
For the former things are passed away.
Go ahead.
And he that sat upon the throne said, Behold, I make all things new.
Right, check that out. Read.
And he said unto me, Write, for these words are true and faithful.
Right, that's the only time when the land is going to be at peace. America needs to fall. The heathens need to be corrected. They need to be chastised by the Lord. That's serious, man. The valley of decision, the punishment and pain that all the nations got to get, right? He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. There's so many scriptures I gotta go. Yeah. Like we'll be here all night. Their children shall be dashed to pieces. Right? Their wives ravished. All that, man. All these things gotta come to pass. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Go to Isaiah 14:7. These are some of the classes we haven't been over in a while. But this is to show y'all, man, that prophecies are coming to pass. You know what I mean? They are coming to pass. Go ahead.
Isaiah 14 and verse 7.
Go ahead.
The whole earth is at rest.
Go ahead.
And is quiet.
Read.
They break forth into singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee. And the cedars of Lebanon say, since thou art laid down, no fellow is come up against
it. Yeah, there ain't going to be no peace in the Middle East or anywhere in the world until Babylon falls, America's brought down. And y'all can read the whole 14th chapter. Well, once again, I'm jumping because it's so much information. But when you go into that Isaiah 14, what had to happen? They had to fall. They had to be destroyed. The wicked had to come down. Right? Go to Isaiah 55 and 12. And then get Isaiah 32. Go to
Isaiah 55 and verse 12.
Right.
For ye shall go out with joy.
Go ahead.
And be led forth with peace.
Wait a minute. When? When are we going to be led with peace? Something has to happen. The nation's got to come down. They want everybody peace in the Middle East. You know what has to happen? There got to be some destruction. Y'all get this? That's the only time we're going to be led out. People are going to be led out of the land. And peace be in the land. Go ahead.
The mountains and the hills shall break forth before you into singing.
Yeah, ain't nobody damn singing, man. You crying. You're in pain. You're in suffering. The only time it's going to happen when the nations fall. They don't understand it. They're their own demise. They're their own sickness. They rule the earth with no wisdom, no knowledge, no understanding. Their kings are foolish. So the Most High has to destroy that. He has to take them out. That's the only way. Go ahead.
And all the trees of the field shall clap their hands.
Yeah, ain't no trees clapping their hands. Because certain things haven't happened yet. Nobody's happy. We're waiting. We're all patiently waiting. Go ahead.
Instead of the thorn shall come up the fir tree. And instead of the briar shall come up the mighty tree.
Right. So it just showing you here that the prophecy is that peace will come, the joy will come when the children of Israel are set up on high. That's the only time that people are going to beat their swords and the plowshares and say, you know what? Nah, no more weapons, no more bombs. Right? So, I mean, I got a few more, but y'all got any questions on that? Anybody got anything on that? Anything online? Yeah. Yes, sir. So yeah, man. So when you turn on the news, don't drop a damn tear for them. Don't drop one tear for them, because the Most High is doing this for your sake. He's doing this for your sake. He's bringing these nations down for your sake. And you know, maybe we have to do a part 2 on this one right here. Yeah, we have to do a part 2 on this one right here. But I'll wait a few seconds to see anybody got any questions. But yeah, listen, y'all don't fear. Remember, the scriptures say, walk as wise, not as fools, discerning the time, knowing that the days are evil. Y'all gotta be tuned in to understand what's going on the news to see. You know what I mean? You got this going on in Israel. Then you got the back door little Joe. You got Russia making their moves and going to war over there. Right? Then you got America trying to what? It almost seems like America is trying to play the nice guy, right? He's the serpent. He's the devil. You know what I mean? Don't be, because he comes out like. Everyone.
Creepy Joe.
Yeah, Creepy Joe comes out like. Okay, we just go give everybody checks, man. This wicked, disgusting beast. This wicked, disgusting beast, man. He's doing all kind of lies, defiledness, crookedness.
Yeah.
Do not be deceived. The devil is a lie, brother.
Like it says in Psalm 55 and 21.
Go ahead.
It says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war
was in his heart. Yeah. Yeah. Remember, the Esau will come out with all that old walking and behind the door. He's a ravening wolf. So it's bubbling, is what I'm saying. It's bubbling. All right. So yeah, we'll do a part 2 on this one right here. Nobody has any questions? Everybody online, y'all know the deal. Tomorrow, Houston will be live. I mean, if you don't know, everybody salute them. Let's say shalom, y'all. Shalom. So we're gonna have to definitely do a part 2 on that.
Six chill, for real.
Judah. The scepter would never leave Judah. The scepter would never leave Judah. The scepter would never leave Judah. I'm Judah. Christ sprang out of Judah. King David was Judah. King Asa was Judah. Don't crowd me up, who gon' rouse me up? Alistair Crowley, your time is up. It's a big mess, I gotta clean it up. Esau, the end of my kingdom's up. On the eagle's neck, I'll press. I woke up from my rest. My rulership is up next. No vex.